Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. This is my first time ever doing a video like this. I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. But with that being said, please bear with me as I will get better when it comes to these sort of videos. Please give me your best guidance possible after seeing this video. Thank you guys, enjoy the video, I'll see you next time. At the cost of pain, like a freight train, you're tied to the tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it is MegaCrasher, and I come at you guys back again once again with another exciting video, and what we got going on here is a Pokemon Sun and Moon episode review video. Now, what we got going on here is episode 87, and it features Ash and friends that are in a rather unique situation, alright? So, to give you guys a little bit of pre-episode context, right now, we are in the thick of it, okay? We have Ash and friends that had just got done dealing with Stakataka in the previous episode. Now, we have ourselves the ultimate situation, okay? We have ourselves Ash waking up, and, well, let's just say that the adults, when it comes to the Alola region, they're not exactly up to snuff now, are they? Now, with that being said, what I'm going to be doing is, rather than showcasing you guys clips, I'm going to be showcasing pictures here in this situation, and giving you guys context as the pictures roll on in sequence. So with that being said, let's let this episode roll. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so in the opening sequence, we have ourselves Ash having a rather unique dream where Necrozma appears from a crystal. So he wakes up and he feels refreshed. His Pokemon appear to be looking good as well. But then, as you're seeing right here, the look on Ash's face was priceless. And you're probably wondering, well, why did Ash have that sort of reaction? Well, that's because of the fact that Professor Kukui wasn't exactly himself. He looked completely the opposite of what he normally would be. Rather than having an open jacket without a shirt on, he had his lab coat completely buttoned up and he was wearing a shirt and he looked completely worn out and was complaining about being cold. Now, with that being said, I don't know if that y'all tells you something right off the bat, but see, here's the thing, is that you know that something is wrong when Kukui isn't his usual self. And it isn't just him that is behaving rather unusually. No, hell to the no. We also have ourselves Burnett that is acting rather unusual because normally when she is in the anime, she is energetic and she is always a go-getter, but she is passed out. So, yeah, something is definitely wrong here. So we then move on to the scene where Ash and friends are at school, and, well, let's just say that Ash isn't the only one that has experienced this phenomenon, witnessing adults not being their normal energetic self. No, we have others that have unfortunately witnessed the same sort of situation. And, well, they aren't exactly all too pleased. And it would seem that Kukui still hasn't exactly gotten his act together. He is just falling asleep all over the place. So, he ends up just flaking out on everyone, and it's just like, yeah, no, you know, I don't feel like doing anything. So, you know, typical response of someone who's tired. Can't really blame Kukui too much, but anyways, so we have ourselves a scene where Kiawe ends up explaining the history of the Manalo festival, which is pretty interesting, but it doesn't exactly contribute, let's say, too much to the plot. But then we end up getting a history lesson when it comes to the Radiant one being Ultra Necrozma. Now, with that being said, if you guys have played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you would know what the Radiant one is. So we can't exactly say that's too much of a spoiler, but with all that though, let's keep going. So the story goes, was that the Radiant one, Ultra Necrozma, shared its light throughout the Alola region, but it shared its light so much so that it depleted its own life force, and thus it ended up reverting into a black base form, which you're seeing obviously as the regular Necrozma, and it ended up falling into a very, very deep slumber. But then, the emissaries that represent the Sun and Moon shared its light with Necrozma, and thus it was able to regain its former form and glory, and thus become the Ultra One himself once more, and it ends up soaring high into the sky. and thus once again shining nice and bright throughout the Alola region. So in the next scene, we have ourselves Ash and Kiawe wanting to practice their Z moves, and all seems to be going well and good, except for when the Z moves actually happen. Well, I should say lack thereof. The Z moves appear to happen, but then, of course, they fizzle out when the going gets tough. And Kiawe and Ash are kind of wondering why that is, but then Poipole suddenly freaks out and inks out the Ultra Necrozma sign on the beach, and we're kind of wondering, whoa, what is this all about here? But I think that's Poipole possibly pointing to the possibility of why Z moves aren't working as well. Meanwhile, at the Aether Paradise, the same thing is happening to the employees at the Aether Paradise. Nope, not even the Aether Paradise people can escape from the curse that is seemingly affecting the adults, and as we had just discovered, Pokemon as well. I mean, it may not appear to be affecting the Pokemon when it comes to what they look like on the outside. They don't appear to be tired, but it showed, obviously, when they tried to perform their Z moves that their power was completely drained out. But in this scene, we actually end up discovering more about what is going on in said situation. That is the fact that the Ultra Aura is actually diminishing. It is actually being drained due to there being a wormhole that is sucking the Ultra Aura out of the Alola region. So that right there is pretty big, and that's where things start to really come together as to why the adults, especially, are not their normal selves. So we end up going from the Alola region to Team Rocket. And I'm not talking about Jesse and James and Meowth, the original Team Rocket. No, no, no. I'm talking about a different sort of Team Rocket. The ones that Giovanni has dispatched to the Alola region. And the thing is that this is where things are really getting interesting here. What sort of involvement is Team Rocket going to have in the Alola region when it comes to the Radiant one? Well, it seems like that we might get our answers as this arc progresses, but man oh man alive, things are getting very interesting, and I can honestly say that it was at that point that I started getting chill bumps because of how intense that very moment was. And it would seem like that I'm not the only one that is getting chill bumps from this intensity. No. It seems like Gladian's Silvally is not having any of it either. Silvally is in a complete ruckus, and even Gladian is having an incredibly difficult time trying to calm down the beast. And the thing is that when Gladian's Silvally is like this, you know something's about to go down, and it is big. And Silvally's not wrong, which is why you should always trust its instincts. Yes, that's right. We have Solgaleo and Lunala in the Ultra Space trying to escape from none other than Necrozma itself. Yes, Necrozma is chasing after Solgaleo and Lunala, presumably to steal its light. Yes, that's right. And we have ourselves Solgaleo trying to hold off Necrozma for the obvious, but it seems like that Necrozma isn't having any of that. It's not going to have its plans derailed today. Well, see, here's the thing, is that poor old Solgaleo ends up paying for it and ends up taking a huge hit from Necrozma's attacks, and, well, that just ends up leaving Lunala to fend for itself, so it ends up fleeing even further in this situation. Alright, so in the second half of the episode, Ash and friends are summoned by the Aether Paradise because they are needed as the Ultra Guardians. So they are about to be dispatched to the Altar of the Sun, but not before we see Lusamine making a comical appearance, and I mean comical appearance because, well, her hair is a mess. It's just, when I seen this, I was laughing my ass off. I'm just like, oh my god. And Lily's reaction was absolutely priceless. Like, it was adorable. So, with that being said, we end up advancing to the next scene where we have Ash and company arriving at the Altar of the Sun where things pick up. So after everyone arrives, there's a scene where it carries out for a little bit where they are explaining further about the Ultra Aura and how it is being sucked through a small wormhole that was very close to their location, And I just gotta say, again, it was really funny to see the adults all tired out trying to explain themselves, and Wick, you know, eating a whole bunch of cookies while she's trying to explain things. Absolutely hilarious. And then, of course, she ends up snapping at Faba because Faba was, like, falling asleep, standing up and all that. It was absolutely funny. But we end up getting to a pretty pivotal point right here where they have a machine that isn't working, but in order for that machine to work, it needs to have the Z moves power. So it is at that point that we have ourselves Ash, Kiawe, Gladion, and Alana activate their Z power, and they need to combine it in order for this machine to work, which they do exactly that, and it ends up working, and it ends up clearing the skies. But after that happens, they actually end up being led to a secret ruin at the Altar of the Sun by Lusamine, and there is a huge stone tablet that depicts Ultra Necrozma along with Solgaleo and Lunala, and a ton of writing. So at that point, Lusamine is saying that in order for them to figure out this mystery, or at least have a chance at figuring out this mystery, they need to decipher the writing on that wall. And then we end up bringing it back outside because things are really picking up. The Ultra Wormhole is getting bigger and bigger, and it's coming in the direction of the moon. And you're probably wondering why that is. Well, we have Lunala appearing out of the Ultra Wormhole, and everyone seems to be all glad and stuff like that, but then we have Necrozma appearing, and then the episode ends up ending at that. Oh my god, what a cliffhanger! It's like I wanted to see a little bit of what was going to be taking place, but that's going to be saved, obviously, for the next episode. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this episode review video. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys were able to follow along just fine, as if you guys had watched the episode, and me talking about the episode gave you guys a good idea as to what was going on in the plot, as well as everything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please be sure to smash the like button. Not really sure how many likes we should go for in a video like this. I'm going to say let's start out with a generous 30, you know? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next upload!